Do you think the carnivore diet is perfect? Well, think again. Today, I'm quitting the carnivore diet. After being a strict carnivore now, I can truthfully say that I personally don't think this diet is for everyone. This is what they don't tell you. Like waking up in the middle of the night due to low glucose levels. And my testosterone? It took a nosedive. It went from 1004 nanogram each deciliter to the 550s. And my cortisol levels were off the roof. I was basically living in a constant state of adrenaline and lethargic workouts. Yeah, your body gets used to being in ketosis, but in my opinion, it can't compare to using glucose as fuel. But the carnivore diet wasn't all bad. My gut have never felt this good, and symptoms for my chronic gut disease, GERD, completely gone. And honestly, I feel like a kid again. No constipation, no bloating, I just feel freaking great. And that's not all. The carnivore diet have seriously improved my mental clarity and productivity. With this diet being really rich in choline and being sugar-free, my focus now is razor sharp and I never get midday crashes anymore. And honestly, I just feel like my brain have been supercharged since being on the carnivore diet. The main reason many feel so great while being on the carnivore diet isn't mainly because of the food that is in the diet, but more about the foods that aren't in the diet. Since you are only eating one type of food, you are avoiding all the food that irritates you, that is bad for you, and that causes you inflammation. Imagine a diet that has all the anti-inflammatory benefits that the carnivore diet has with none of the drawback. That is a custom elimination diet for each and every one of us. It starts with introducing one food at a time to see if it can complement the carnivore diet without negating its benefits. And this isn't about random addition. Each food is meticulously chosen to solve a specific problem with the carnivore diet or to add value to the carnivore diet, either it's in vitamins, minerals, or other nutrients. In the next months or so, I am going to create the best diet for myself, and I am going to show you step by step how to proceed so you can create your own custom elimination diet.
The first day.
Berries, bananas, avocado, and table cream. But we are gonna continue with the core principle of the carnivore diet. So continuing with a lot of red meat, a lot of eggs, organ meat. This is beef liver, the most nutritious food you can find on this planet. And of course other carnivore food as in bacon, also fish. So the main priority I want to keep from the carnivore diet is my gut health that I experience with the carnivore diet, and also my focus and productivity while being on the carnivore diet. So the reason why I chose avocados and berries to begin with to introduce to my carnivore diet is because these are fruit with low GI and GL values. So these are food that won't raise up your blood sugars quickly, which means that you will avoid those insulin spikes and crashes, which is ideal when it comes to be as productive and as focused as possible when it comes to work. And they are also great for my gut health, I believe. So the reason why I also think they will be great for my gut health is because they don't have a lot of sugar. And my gut disease is called GERD. And there's proven studies that have shown that reducing the amount of total sugars in your diet will reduce the amount of heartburns in GERD. Heartburns are the symptoms in GERDs, and they are awful. Also, I believe berries and avocados have nutritions that will complement the carnivore diet, and there's a lot of vitamin C's and fibers in both berries and avocado. And avocado, in my opinion, is a superfood because it's so rich in vitamins and minerals, especially in magnesium, which I think is one of the most important minerals you can get. So I'm also introducing table cream, And during my carnivore diet, I drank kefir. And table cream and kefir is very similar in a way where kefir and table cream are low lactose products. So I don't think table cream will bother my gut too much. And also table cream is a great source for calcium. And when I did my carnivore diet, even though I drank kefir, I was lacking calcium. So hopefully table cream can complement my diet. Avocado, egg, bacon. Avocado, egg, bacon is freaking unbeatable. Ribeye steak with extra butter on top. So good. So good. So, ribeye steak here in Bali is pretty affordable. It's about $3 each 100 gram. So this berry salad has strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, and raspberries. And I haven't had raspberries since I've been in Norway. So good. What's funny about this whole thing is that raspberries are super expensive here in Bali. 100 gram of raspberries is about $6. So raspberries are twice as expensive as ribeye here. That's completely backwards. So please hit the subscribe button because this diet is going to be expensive.
The next day.
More berries. Berries in itself is so good. But I don't plan to eat berries like this in a bowl. And I'm definitely not planning to drink table cream and kefir on its own. You see, I'm not a big fan of dishes. So my plan with the berries and the kefir and the table cream was to make a gainer shake. I'm trying to gain some weight here in Bali, which is quite difficult. So yeah, since I'm not a big fan of doing dishes, my plan was just to keep it simple, use the berries, the table cream and the kefir to make smoothies. Less dishes for me. And that's also where the banana comes in. And this type of banana is quite average, or I would say it's actually big. You see, this type of banana, I know it's not low GI and GL, it's medium GI and GL, but a banana makes a smoothie so much better. So it's all about making it simple, at the same time making it taste great. Whew. Sometimes the feeling you get after taking a massive dump is about as good you can feel in life, I reckon. About 1 cup of kefir, half a cup of table cream, 1 massive banana, and a lot of berries. FYI, I have washed my hands after going to the bathroom. This is also good. I don't know what's best, this or going to the stool. You see, before today, I haven't been to the stool for 3 days. And if you wonder if that is normal, the answer is yes. And I used to go to the stool once or twice every single day. But one of the benefits while being on the carnivore diet is that you only need to go to the stool every 2nd or 3rd day. And even though you only go to the stool every 2nd or 3rd day, I never feel constipated, I never feel bloated, and I have way less gas now than I had before. So on day 1, when I introduced back fruits and table cream back into my diet, I went to the stool 3 times that day. It was quite an eventful day, you can say. But I think it was just my gut microbiome adjusting to the new food again. Remember, I was a carnivore, a strict carnivore, for 35 days before, where I didn't have a single gram of carbs. Now that I am on day 7 of introducing these fruits and table cream back to my diet, I can say it's exactly the same as I was on the carnivore diet. I only do go to the stool every second, every third day. I never feel constipated. I don't have any bloating. Neither do I have any gas anymore. When it comes to my focus and productivity, in the beginning when I started drinking the smoothie, I am not gonna lie to you guys, I got drowsy and I got kind of sleepy. But it's completely normal because I haven't had a single gram of carbs in 35 days before that. Now my body is a little bit more used to it, and I also found a work around it. Now I only drink smoothies at the end of my workday or pre-workout. Doing it this way makes sure that insulin spikes won't mess with my productivity. So since introduced back this type of food into my diet, my daily nutritional profile have definitely improved, but I am still only getting in about 50 grams of carbs every single day, which is not much. So it definitely haven't fixed my sleep issues yet. My training still sucks, my cortisol still sucks, so I think I definitely need to amp up my carbs. I don't know how to explain how excited I am for this. Okay, this is purple sweet potatoes. 300 grams of purple sweet potatoes, boiled and peeled. The reason I'm boiled them is because the GI levels are lower than if you bake them. And also when you boil them, you can really cook them hot, so you can kill off a lot of the defense chemicals that are in sweet potatoes. And I'm really excited to eat sweet potatoes now because I haven't had any solid form or carbohydrates now for 42 days. So these sweet potatoes with no salt, no pepper, just regular sweet potatoes will be like candy to me. As I was a kid, they will be so good. Anyways, let's indulge in some sweet carbohydrates. Let's go. This might just not look that great, but it's gonna taste amazing. It's sweet potatoes, ground beef, butter, egg yolk. Ooh. Man, I can eat the potato alone. That's how good it is right now. I miss carbs. God damn. A little bit more of purple sweet potatoes. Man, I can eat the purple sweet potato alone now. It's so sweet, it's so good. It tastes like candy for me right now. LMFG. So when I was a carnivore, it was very common for me to have a bad night of sleep. And it was actually very often that I would wake up in the middle of the night. So I told my friend about it here, my friend who's a doctor who also have dabbled into carnivore, and he told me that it's actually completely normal. It's very normal to wake up in the middle of the night if you're a carnivore, especially if you stop eating early in the day. So I usually eat twice a day. My last meal is around 4 p.m. I try to avoid eating too close to bedtime because it's not good for my GERD. And here's the thing. While being on a carnivore diet, I usually would wake up in the middle of the night due to low glucose level. So our body will release hormones like adrenaline and cortisol to help us raise our glucose level when it gets too low. This natural mechanism is great, especially when it comes to working, or if you're in the wild hunting, because it will keep you sharp. But when you are trying to sleep, it is not ideal, at least for me. I don't want my body to pump adrenaline in me 2 a.m. in the middle of the night because it thinks I'm starving and tell me that I need to hunt for food. When the reality is, I'm doing this on purpose. And tomorrow I have to wake up at 7 a.m. to pick up my friends at the airport. So I would rather not get woken up in the middle of the night because of huge adrenaline dump to raise my glucose levels. So when creating this elimination diet, my second priority is to improve my sleep, decrease my cortisol levels, and increase my testosterone levels. And they are all correlated. So before doing the carnivore diet, my testosterone, my total testosterone was 1008 nanogram each deciliter. After doing the carnivore diet, it dropped from 1008 to 558 nanogram each deciliter, which is almost half of what my total testosterone used to be. And I felt like while being on a carnivore diet, my cortisol levels were on an all-time high. It was off the roof. I don't see carbs as the enemy. And this might be a very unpopular opinion right now, but I think our body needs glucose to thrive. If we don't eat glucose, our body will even turn protein into glucose through glucogenesis. Our brain relies heavily on glucose. And if my body craves glucose that much, I'm just gonna give it what it wants. Next food I am going to introduce to my diet are apple cider vinegar and also purple sweet potatoes. Before you hardcore carnivores start commenting defense chemicals in the comments, go ahead, just do it. So why purple sweet potatoes? Well, purple sweet potatoes have complex carbs, which breaks down a lot more slowly than simple sugar, for example, which means that purple sweet potatoes will give me a slower release of energy over a longer period of time. And they're also great when it comes to antioxidant. They are an antioxidant powerhouse. There's 300% more antioxidant in purple sweet potatoes than there are in blueberries, that's crazy. That is just crazy. And they also got calcium, vitamin C, fiber, and they help rounding out like my daily nutritional needs. So how I prepare these purple sweet potatoes is that I boil them and then I peel them off. And boiling them will lower the GI value with a lot actually. And also boiling vegetables will kill off a lot of the defense chemicals. So that's the way to prepare vegetables in my opinion. And when it comes to oxalate levels, purple sweet potatoes or potatoes in general have lower oxalate levels compared to other vegetables like kale, spinach, and even nuts. That's pretty nuts. So I'm also introducing apple cider vinegar into my diet. The reason for that is because I am afraid that introducing more and more carbs into my diet will bring back my GERD, and apple cider vinegar is great if you have GERD or suffer from heartburns, especially if you have lower stomach acid as me. And apple cider vinegar have also some evidence that suggests that they might help regulate glucose levels, and there's like almost no downside taking apple cider vinegars when you take it in the recommended dosages, of course. Alright, I gotta be real with you, and this might sound strange, but I have actually never had apple cider vinegar before. So I've gone through my whole adulthood, a whole 26 years without trying apple cider vinegar. And if you're like me, if you've gone through your whole life not trying out a certain type of food, you are really skeptical to trying it out. But I'm gonna give it a shot anyway, see how it tastes. I reckon it's kind of sour, but let's see. Oh, alright. Smells sour. First time trying apple cider vinegar. 1 tablespoon. It smells like Eddie. But let's see how it tastes. I don't think the taste is gonna blow my mind, but I just don't hope it tastes awful. It didn't taste that bad. It tasted like alcohol, to be fair, which makes sense because it's apple cider. It's just that you can't get drunk out of it. I'm not sure if it's a bad thing or if it's a good thing. It's a good thing. 3 kilometers done. Let's go. 3,000 meter on the rower, done. Let's freaking go. Hell yeah. My cardio is back, baby. Feels freaking good. If you've seen my carnivore video where I've been a carnivore for 35 days, you know that while being a carnivore, my training, especially my training that requires a lot of energy, like high intensity training or cardio training, suffered. After integrating back potatoes now to my training, my HIIT training and cardio training is back and it feels so freaking good. Nothing beats the feeling of accomplishing and finishing a high intensity training. Honestly, the euphoric feeling you get is almost the same as having an orgasm. Or at least it's for me, but I don't know. But not only have my high intensity training gotten a lot better since integrating sweet potatoes, since increasing my carbs, I don't get cramps anymore. My cortisol level have definitely lowered. I definitely feel a lot less stressed and my sleep has also gotten better. But not everything have gotten better since integrating sweet potatoes. And this is kind of embarrassing, but I'm starting to have gas again in me. And if you think that is normal, well, it was normal when I was on a carnivore diet. I almost never ever had gas. I think I barely farted while being on a carnivore diet. Now, I am farting a lot more. Yeah. But the absolute worst since integrating sweet potato into the diet is that my productivity and focus have dipped a lot, and my productivity have absolutely been killed. After having a meal of sweet potato, I just struggle to sit still and do some work. I feel like either I have too much energy or I get too drowsy and I want to sleep. And it's been a struggle for me to get anything done after a meal, really. So I need to find a solution to that. I want to find a solution to where I can keep the benefits that I have gotten by introducing a lot more carbs to my diet, as in lower cortisol levels and better sleep and improved training. But at the same time, I need to fix the issue with my focus and productivity, because that's a huge priority of mine. And also fixing the gas situation, farting a lot less would also be nice. Yeah. Breakfast today is going to be a little bit different. I am cooking up salmon and I'll be having that with avocado, beef liver, the most nutritious food on the planet. And then we have bacon and then 3 eggs. So I have decided I am going to postpone eating my carbs till the end of the day. Even though eating my carbs in the beginning of the day, especially before working out, have made my workout great and also help with a lot of my sleep. I'll still keep the cortisol and sleep benefits if I eat my carbs in the last meal of the day. Because the last few days I have been really unproductive. Eating carbs early in the morning, especially potatoes, sweet potatoes, makes me feel really bloated, makes me feel kind of drowsy and full. I just want to relax and I don't want to be in that state when I am working. So I've decided to go full keto in the whole first portion of the day. I am not going to have any carb until the last meal of the day. Pushing my carbs back to the last meal of the day shouldn't take away the benefits I've gotten from carbs when it comes to better sleep and also better cortisol levels. But my training might suffer because I usually train in the middle of the day, but that's okay. Even though training has been really good lately and I've been loving it. Training is second priority. First priority is focus and productivity, and my productivity and focus have suffered immensely. especially since introducing sweet potato into my diet. Eating it in the first portion of the day just makes me feel lazy and sometimes tired, and also doesn't make me feel as sharp as I was when I was on the carnivore diet. So I want to keep the benefit that I got from the carnivore diet, which is being super sharp, being super sharp, and also being very focused and productive. So in the first portion of the day, I am only going to do keto. That means avocado, beef liver, bacon, eggs, and salmon. Good morning. Just woke up, took a massive dump. I feel like a freaking champ. So me switching to only eating sweet potatoes in the later portion of the day have brought back my focus and productivity. I feel now as locked in as I was while being on a carnivore diet now while working. And I also reduced my sweet potatoes portions from 300 grams to only 200 grams. It's not a big difference, but it makes a big difference of how I feel. Because after eating potatoes now, I don't feel as bloated. I don't feel like I'm in a food coma. So yeah, reducing the portions and also moving the time where I eat my sweet potatoes have been game changing. Something that have changed though is that I go to the stool every single day now. But honestly, I don't mind it. I think it's kind of nice actually. The most important thing is that I still don't have any gas now, which means that my body has adapted to the purple sweet potato. So after introducing sweet potatoes to my diet, my sleep have drastically improved. I don't wake up in the middle of the night no more. And my cortisol levels have also lowered. I feel a lot less stressed, which is amazing. Carbs aren't the enemy. There's a reason why our body craves carbs. You just have to remember that not all carbs are created equally. There is a big difference in micro and macronutrients between something like sweet potatoes or something as like simple sugar, even though they both are carbs. And sweet potatoes for many of you might be an excellent choice for carbs. But for many, white rice might be a better option, especially if you're sensitive to oxalate, even though white rice have an inferior nutritional profile than sweet potatoes. For many, white rice might be a better option because it got less defense chemicals. It's all about finding what is right for you. So portion size and timing matters also. But to not make it too complicated, for most of you guys, just focus on having stable insulin levels throughout the day is more than good enough. You want to avoid insulin spikes because insulin spike can lead to brain fog, and also imbalance in your blood sugars can lead to cravings. And when it comes to training now is a lot better than it was while being on a carnivore diet. But preferably, to perform the best, I would love to have carbs before my training, but having carbs in the latter part of the day and usually after my training still beats being on a carnivore. So the next foods I am going to introduce are honey, pineapples, dragon fruits, and mangoes. So I've been feeling pretty good with the amount of carbs I've introduced back into my diet thus far. And the carbs haven't disrupted any of the benefits that I've experienced while being on the carnivore diet. So far, the carbs actually have only resolved the issues that I experienced while being on a carnivore diet. My training have definitely improved since being on a carnivore diet, but I feel like having carbs before training is a night and day difference when it comes to performance during training. And honey, pineapple, and mango are actually mid to high level food when it comes to GI and GL values. What that essentially means is that these are food that will spike up your blood sugar and also have a lot of carbs. My game plan is to have only honey and these fruits on days I work out and only pre-workout. Doing it this way will make sure that these foods won't disrupt with my focus and productivity, and having it only pre-workout will make sure that I don't get too much of an insulin spike, because my muscle will use up most of the glucose during training. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I am very skeptical into introducing back these type of food back into my diet. The reason for that is because there are studies that have shown that reducing simple sugar from your diet can help with your GERD drastically. And GERD is the gut sickness I have. But I'm thinking I am healthy and I'm only testing it for a couple of weeks to see what happens. I'm only having these type of food pre-workout. Worst case scenario, I can always cut back on the honey, and then the pineapple, and then the mango. We just have to try and time will tell, I guess. Also, if you want a detailed breakdown of what glucose, fructose and sucrose is and their relationship to insulin, making it really easy to understand, comment below "You are not yourself when you're hungry" and subscribe. I'll make the video for you guys. Hey! Boxing training done. Man, I love high intensity training. It feels nothing like finishing a hard intensive workout. And since adding high GI fruits and also honey, my training has been freaking good, man. And it doesn't really disturb my work because I'm only having them before my workouts. So it doesn't disturb my productivity at all. But it's not all smooth sailing because after eating the fruits, I feel really bloated. But I reckon that can be fixed if I reduce the portions. But my biggest concern thus far, after introducing high GI fruits and honey, is that my GERD or my heartburn have returned. I haven't had heartburn in like over a month now. And it was noticeable at once. The same day I introduced back high GI fruits and honey, my heartburn came back this same day. And I think I know what the reason for that is. And I think it's the honey. And it breaks my freaking heart because I love honey. But when I look back to periods of my life, the periods where I consumed a lot of honey, my heartburn or my GERD have been crazy. So my game plan for going forward is I'm gonna remove honey from the fruit salad. I'm gonna make the portion smaller. I think the reason I feel bloated is because the amount of fruits I eat is just too much. So let's see what happens next. After a month of trial and error, this is the diet I have come up with that makes me feel the best and also perform the best. It is carnivore based, so a lot of red meat, fish, eggs, and also beef organ. This is beef liver, the most nutritious food you can find on this planet. And also I've included avocados, berries and low dairy products which I make into a smoothie every day. And also 200 grams of purple sweet potatoes, 200 grams at most every day. And also I also include a small portion of high GI fruit that I am only having pre-workout, so only the day I work out at. So removing honey from my fruit salad have gotten rid of my heartburn once again, and reducing the portion of the fruits I eat doesn't make me feel as bloated after eating them, but it's still enough now to still help me perform to the best of my abilities when it comes to training. Comparing my nutritional profile when I was on a carnivore diet to what I am eating now, it is like day and night. My nutritional profile now is way more complete and I feel it. Physically, I feel like I'm at my best. Mentally, I am just as sharp as I was while being on a carnivore diet. I feel like I've kept all the major benefits from being a carnivore and I just enhanced it. My training have gotten better, my sleep has gotten better, my cortisols have lowered, and my testosterone have probably increased. Overall, it's been a major win.
The next morning.
Thank you. Looks lovely. Have you heard about the 80-20 concept? The 80-20 concept is about being 100% strict with your diet 80% of the time. And the last 20%, you can be more flexible and enjoy other food. If I'm going to overdose one day, we'll probably be overdosing from cinnamon rolls. I freaking love them. Even if you treat your diet and nutrition as a full-time job where everything is 100% perfect at all time, you will still die one day, just like the rest of us. We only live once, so I think it's very important that we enjoy our life while we're here on this planet. But that being said, I don't think it's smart to overdo it to the point where you become obese and not expected to live past 45. And even to the point where you are dependent on constant doctor visits and dependent on prescribed drugs. I don't think that's a meaningful and happy way to live life either. Create a diet that prioritizes your health, but that also fits your lifestyle. In my opinion, a custom elimination diet with the 80-20 concept is a perfect way to start. And as you go along, you can just adjust the 80-20 ratio. Subscribe if you guys want to see more about health and nutrition and diet, and check out this video to learn more about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay healthy, keep thriving, and I see you guys on the next one. Peace!